This is Gail Nelson, President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami, the host of The Game of Life. Respect. We got it. We have with us today in studio on the Game of Life Mentoring Podcast. I'm your host, Gail Nelson, President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Miami. We have Bringo and Tanisha Seidel from Evolutionary Arts. And I tell you what, folks, I had the pleasure of seeing the product of what you all do. If I can even get it out, I'm so excited. The proof, the product, the results of hard work at the Florida Memorial University, our HBCU, Historically Black College University down here in South Florida. Mm-hmm. And what I witnessed in those two shows was absolute excellence. And first of all, welcome to both of you to Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Tell us about Evolutionary Arts.
Well, Evolutionary Arts is a premier performing arts training program. We think that it is so important to give kids something that they will be able to hold on to as far as the arts, and then we kind of trick them into learning other things like life skills and things of that nature. But it's just really to give access to students, to let them know what's out there, to also present a career pathway in the arts. Many people don't understand that it's not always about being on stage, but backstage you can make money there too. That's right. So there's just a whole thing that, a lot of things that we encompass. We teach dance, acting, film and TV, creative writing, orchestra. We have jazz band, drumline, band. Am I leaving anything else out?
I think you said it all.
Oh, okay.
But speaking of behind the scenes, when I came backstage with both of you, Bringo, I saw you you had it all going. There was a lot of jobs back there.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what happens backstage.
Well, we have the primarily the tech crew, right? Mm-hmm. That's Mrs. Seidel department there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have the tech crew, but we also believe in teaching the students about the jobs backstage or what you need to do in order to make a great product on stage. So the musicians, they learned how to make sure everything was right. All the drums need to be in place. We need to know where all the chairs and all the stands and all that kind of stuff, when to do it. We told them, okay, you have 20 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and they have to do it. We practice that over and over again until it's just like clockwork. And so they understand that there's a process, there's discipline in there that we're teaching. And then, of course, in the theater, we teach them about, backstage, stage right, stage left, what's just important around, the mechanics of the stage. So there's just a whole wealth of knowledge when students get to perform what they know, what they learn.
No doubt about it, yes. And Bringo, as I think about the impact on kids, music and the arts, expression, what you're saying, Tanisha, and we had a group of littles there. And during intermission, I went out and I just took a little video, and I asked them one question. How many of you want to learn how to do what you just saw? Every hand went up.
Wow.
I want to learn how to dance. I want to learn how to sing. I want to learn how to play an instrument, that drum line. And that their bright eyes just excited me. And Tanisha, you remember, and you said, we're going to make sure we make that happen. So tell me about just your background and how you got into music, because you guys are an artistic couple, and you teach it, but you also live it. So tell us a little bit about your background, sir.
Yeah, well, one of the components that unfortunately this year we weren't able to put together was the symphony orchestra in the musical.
Wow.
Right, yeah. So we have it's like a Broadway production. Having these students who've never played, never sang, never danced, just come together, and we have a pit orchestra that I'm the artistic, at least the music conductor. Here's the artistic person here, and we put everything together, and the kids only have 6 weeks. We use the little ones, the middle schoolers, the high school students, and it's a sight to behold. We're looking forward to doing that next year.
And what's going to be cool about what's going to be bigger about next year is you'll have some littles.
That's right.
And so let's talk about just what you all envision. How can this partnership, because we're in.
Right.
What does this partnership look like? Here's Evolutionary Arts, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Miami. how we just enlighten these littles to the big stage.
Yeah, it's just about access. We want to make sure that we give as much access to the arts as possible to all the students in Miami-Dade County. We realize that in the schools they don't get to have as much access, or they don't, the schools, everything is kind of catered to the academics, and that's great. But sometimes some kids are not going to be, they're not going to be mathematicians.
That's right.
They have other interests. And so it is our job, our duty to make sure that they have an outlet, an outlet of expression in the arts, and that they know what's out there. They know what the arts is. I mean, some of them have never been to a theatrical production, so it's just the access one by one, teaching them, exposing them, loving on them hard. That's exactly what we do.
Hey, I love that. I love that. Bringo, when you were growing up, or maybe through your adolescence, if you will, who was that go-to musician? When you thought about, when you saw him or her perform or sing or do anything, you're like, that's the one. Who was that and why?
I'm a rattler.
All right, well, go ahead now. Go ahead.
A&M University.
My wife is a graduate of Florida A&M University
Come on
as
now.
well, no
Come
doubt.
on now.
Awesome, all
That's
right.
where we met.
All right.
Yeah. So just being from middle school, and I've always had a passion for music. It wasn't until that I just dropped by the middle school band room, and Mr. Vidal, I remember him vividly. And he just pulled me in the band room. Young man, you want to play an instrument? Hey, sure. I would love to play an instrument. And I saw the Marching 100. He took us to a field trip. And when I saw that band, and that just rocked my world. And I've never seen musicians not just play, artistically play, but dance and just the maneuvering and the precision that how everything came together. And from that point on, I just knew where I was, where I was destined. So I went to FAMU and got my master's at Florida Atlantic University. And from then on, at some point we decided, let's start this program. I tell you one quick story. My students at Michael Crop High School, there was a program, and I won't name the fiscal agent. There was one time a program that used to bus our kids down south, and our students, loved the program. However, it began to grow. Our students began to gain interest, and out of the interest, I guess it became just a little too much for that fiscal agent. Because it came from, I believe it was about 10 students to like 25 students. And so they stopped the program for us, at least in the North End. And at that point, I said to myself, there are no programs. I looked around, in the North End, there was nothing. So the kids asked Mrs. Seidel, what are we going to do? And that's when I came home. I don't know if you remember, home. I spoke to my wife. I said, we got to create something in the North for the kids.
Yeah.
For our kids. And that evolutionary arts was born
Out of that.
Yeah, out of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I love the fact, because I was thinking that musician, you went to a teacher, and I love that.
Yeah.
You were in middle school.
Middle school.
Mr. Vidal.
Vidal.
So Seidel met Vidal. And so now your CV,
Yeah.
what I just did,
Yes,
That's
sir.
your
right.
resume
Yes,
now
sir.
is
Yes,
all about
sir.
music, brother.
Yeah.
So
Full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
And when I think about, when you say the Marching 100, I will never forget. I wasn't there live, but when Prince performed at the Super Bowl, and the Marching 100 was in the background, and he sang Purple Rain, and it was raining.
Right.
And when that horn section
Yes,
hit,
sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
all I can say,
Yes.
see, the power of music, the power
power
of
of music.
expression, and when our kids, and see, keep in mind, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Miami, from county line to county line. So what we do is going to be on the big stage. So that little girl, that little boy, whether it's North, Central, or South, is a part of our family.
Right.
And we'll do whatever it takes to get them where they can get the instruction and we want to do something real nice, and just maybe, with Evolutionary Arts and Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami on the big stage at the gala.
Oh yeah.
Can we let's put it out
yeah.
there right
Yes,
now?
sir.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah,
ready?
let's do
Yes,
it.
sir.
The big stage in April 23rd, 2022, Saturday. The Littles will be trained by excellence. I know what you all can. I've seen it. So stay tuned. This is a teaser podcast.
That's right.
Yes.
When mentoring meets the arts,
Yes.
that's real smart.
Yes,
so we're
sir.
about to get
I love
this. So as we close, let me just say this to both of you. Thank you for your teaching, your passion for instructing our kids. We look forward to this partnership. Anything else you all want to share with anybody before we close?
No, just thank you. Thank you for what you do anyway, right? We did a lot of research on your organization, and we just love what you're doing in the community. And for us to be a partner in that, it's just going to take us to the next level of affecting more children. That's what it's about. So,
Indeed.
Big brothers, big sisters, because brothers and sisters
That's right.
are working together for the good of the community. This podcast is called The Game of Life. If you want to join, become a big brother or big sister, you want to help out in the artistic space, you've come to the right place, www.bbbsmiami.org, because in the game of life, everybody makes the team, but
Hey.
how you play is up to you. Let's go.
Love it. Love it.
This is The Game of Life.